Hello there guys, Wayne here from Luna's World. I hope you're doing well. We're in the 737 MAX and we're over London, just taken off from City. Look at my frame rates. Oh my goodness, 20 frames per second. Isn't that amazing? Look how deliciously stuttery it is. It's pretty unflyable. And this is in 2D mode. Imagine what it's going to be like in VR. So yeah, horrendous experience really. Let's jump outside. Yeah. Looks beautiful. Look at that. I mean, it really does look stunning. Let me jump in back into the cockpit. It does look stunning, but unflyable at this frame rate. So why am I doing this? And why am I torturing myself? Well, if we go into settings here, you'll see I don't have an RTX 4000 generation graphics card. I've actually got a 3080. But I have this frame generation tab here, which you won't have by default. So let's just switch it on. I'll explain sort of towards the end of the video how to enable this. It's quite simple. But let's see what the results are first. We're still going to stick with TAA mode and in everything in Ultra, apart from the things that I changed, which was only the... in fact, I didn't change it. I want to turn, not depth of field, I want to turn motion blur off, just because it's kind of annoying. Everything else, exactly the same. Let's resume. Now, let's let it just relax and do its thing. Now, if you look on the right-hand side, that we're getting slightly better, less stuttery, still visually very, very nice, but less stuttery. And if you look at my FPS counter here in the top left, you'll see it says 37, 38, which is much more acceptable. And that's with the extra frames. Now, it does come with a caveat. This shaking of the pins here might be to do with that. You do get some anomalies happening. You know, so that is kind of annoying, but most of us hardcore flight simmers would turn those things off anyway. So we're technically getting 18 frames, but it feels like 37 in the sim. And let's just do the unthinkable. Let's go down, staying above 500 feet, just because that's illegal. We wouldn't want to do anything illegal in the sim now, would we? Just bring that up. Come on. I'm not sinking. All right, now it thinks we're not going to die. I mean, visually it's stunning, isn't it? Very smooth. Visually an absolute joy. The feeling of it is pretty decent. So it feels like 34 frames, which, you know, is not a huge amount. Let's just give that a pause here. So this is where things get a little bit more interesting. Obviously, we've got loads of room here to turn down all this stuff without having a huge impact on the visuals, but obviously gaining a lot of native FPS, which is only going to enhance the frame generation. Let's delve into the world of DLSS then, and let's certainly not start with ultra performance. Let's go with quality. Now, this will induce some decrease in the visual fidelity, but at the other end is that we should feel a lot smoother. We're not actually getting a lot in terms of frames, but it does feel a lot smoother. 35 frames fake frames and 17 frames native. Let's just head back towards the city. Now, admittedly, you know, that shaking of the pins, that is kind of quite annoying. If I move my head around now, I need to adjust the sensitivity of my mouse, but it's relatively smooth, certainly compared to just TAA mode. And I can still read the dials here. It is a little bit blurry, so there is definitely a loss of fidelity there. If we go to, let's go to the extreme, which is ultra performance. Now we're going to get a big decrease in visual fidelity. We can see it already. We'll see it in the cockpit as well. It looks pretty horrendous. You can sharpen it and upscale and do all that stuff. I can't be bothered. I'd rather not fly with that. That just looks pretty awful. In VR, I don't know. I'd need to experiment. And we're getting 44 frames, so it's not a huge increase. So for me, that's a no-go. I think this works well in TAA mode with frame generation on, and then come down here and tweak this to a more sensible bunch of options. So for example, let's bring this down to 150. We don't need plants and rocks and grass on ultra. Arguably, do we need trees on ultra? Let's keep it on for now. Object level of detail, let's bring that down. Let's match that, 145. Volumetric clouds, texture resolution, I like to keep that on ultra. I don't think ray traced shadows are worth it, so I can turn that off entirely. I can come down on these shadow maps. I'm not too bothered about that. I want to keep windshield effects on and ambient occlusion on ultra. But let's dial these back. Ray march reflections can go to medium, light, sharp. We can go high, depth of field high, unless I'm in photographer mode, which right now I'm not. And I guess we could put all of these things down to high. I don't think we're going to see a huge impact in terms of visual fidelity. So let's go back and see what we're getting now. So let it do its thing. Now we're getting 50 frames, 60 frames, albeit fake, but it's so smooth. And jump outside, we have not lost any visual fidelity, in my opinion. Admittedly, we are a bit further away from the city now, so let's go and head back in. Let's go flaps up as well. Let's speed this up a bit. So I'm going to show you how to enable this. It's very, very simple. It's just requiring to download a couple of files, but I'll take you through the process and you can test out. Basically, it just gives you more headroom. And if you get things dialed in, I mean, I think this looks incredible. I can see all the dials here. I've yet to try this in VR, and I'm really looking forward to doing that. But having 65 frames, all right, we're not quite over London yet, but let's speed this up. Sorry guys, I'm just going to do a few illegal maneuvers here. Let's also drop the altitude. Let's come off let's deploy some speed brakes.
2500.
Yeah, I know. It's going to shout at me. Pull up, pull up. But just look how smooth this is.
Too low, terrain, too low, terrain, too low, terrain, too low, terrain.
Very, very smooth. Oh, that's a weird. That's not what I wanted. Hang on. All right, now we're coming into London now, so we're at 51, 52 fake frames. But I don't notice a huge impact in terms of the smoothness in the sim. And believe me, once you turn off these blimmin' FPS counters, you focus on the reason why we love flying. And whether that's looking outside or looking inside or whatever combination, that's where the fun really is. You know, I think we can get a bit carried away with frames, but for me, what this does is it gives you a lot of headroom to play with in these difficult areas until the sim is optimized better. You know, don't forget, this is all new technology. It's only going to get better, and there's going to be new techniques of rendering, and it's all going to get much faster. But for now, this seems like a really, really cool what would you call it, interim solution, I guess. If you want to fly in these areas, and you know, why wouldn't you? It's absolutely stunning. I've always avoided it because, especially in an aircraft like this, might try a helicopter, just because it's just so poorly optimized. But now, this is flyable. 51 frames. A little bit stuttery. I would turn these pins off, like I said, get rid of that. But yeah, I'm pretty impressed with how this works, to be honest. And I might be slightly late to the game in terms of frame generation, but this seems like a pretty good solution to me. So yeah, let's go ahead and talk about how to install this thing. All right, so the first thing you need to do is download this file, which I've linked in the description. This will take you to Nexus Mods, which is a very well-known modding. It's actually like a hub of mods. You can download the software. You do need to sign up. It's free, and you know, but it's worth it. They don't spam you. There's no spyware or anything like that. It's very safe. So go ahead and download this file, unzip it, and you will end up with this here. Now, the folder that we need is the DLL version. Open that up, and then go ahead and find where your particular installation is for Microsoft Flight Simulator. Ironically, mine is on a drive called X-Plane 12, but click into the Steam apps. If you're on Xbox, you know, you'll find your way in there. And all you need to do is copy and paste it into here, those two files. So this one, version.dll, and DLSSG to FSR3. AMD is better. Copy that in, and you will then get your option within Microsoft Flight Simulator. You also need to make sure that HAGS is on. Change graphic settings. Yeah, HAGS. So hardware accelerated GPU scheduling. Make sure that is on, and restart your PC. Really important to do that. Otherwise, that won't show up in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. And then, yeah, you just go in, fly. That's all you need to do. Just close everything down, reopen the sim, and you should have that option there. And let me know how you get on, guys. I'd be interested to see what benefits it has for you. I've tried this in a number of different airfields, from like, you know, really small airfields, and I'm getting ridiculous frames, like 170, albeit they're fake, but honestly, it feels so smooth and you wouldn't know the difference. Well, I don't anyway. And I've got a pretty keen eye for detail. I haven't noticed much in the way of artifacting and things like that. I haven't tried this in VR. I'm going to try it, and I'll do a video on that coming very soon. So I hope this helps in some way. Hope it makes you able to fly in some of the bigger, more built-up areas until this sim becomes more optimized. And, you know, the cloud computing thing is always going to be an issue. But, you know, maybe they're going to be able to sort that out and make that faster. It's already better in 5 days, isn't it? I mean, it's when you think about when you first loaded into it, what it was like then to what it is now. So yeah, guys, thanks for tuning in. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and give us a thumbs up. That is also called a like. Please give us a like and share with your friends, all that good stuff. Thanks, guys. Take care and see you very soon.